What's up guys, Sean here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I did the magnetic detent mod for the Demko AD20.5. So first thing we're going to do is take off the clip side scale because that is the side with the pivot screw. With this having a captured pivot, that is the only scale you're going to be able to pull off if you want to do this with only taking apart one side. So I'm gonna grab our T10. I highly recommend using and getting yourself a set of the WIHA soft touch TORX drivers. They are by far the best. They make working on your knives a whole lot easier and will save you a lot of headaches, stripping out screws and stuff like that. Excellent drivers, been using them for years. They're always in the links in the description. They've been there ever since I got them, but I've been using these for years now, so I can stand by the fact that these in fact do hold up better than any other TORX I've used, and they're really nice. So now I have my T6. You're going to want to do this with the blade open. That is going to keep the spring tension of the lock mechanism at its lowest tension possible, which will help prevent it from flying out. All right, got all those screws out. So now you're just going to hold it. Lightly wiggle back and forth. See, I have my scale here, and the same thing, just pinching it on the sides of the liner, gently wiggling it because I don't want to pull all these pins up. And there you go. See, the spring's still intact. Here's the other magnet. So this is super easy. This is what the package or container of magnets looks like. I already have this linked in the description of the first video I did when I talked about doing this mod, and I will put the link for this in the description below. It is not an affiliate link, it's just a link to the Harbor Freight website, or you can just go to your local Harbor Freight and you should be able to find these. So there's 10 of these magnets in the tube. I am down to 7 because the first one, like I said in the last video, when I was trying to glue it to the scale, it flipped over, stuck to the, glued itself to my liner. I had to pop it off and sand down the liner. And that magnet had dried up glue on it and everything. I didn't want to sand the magnet to get it smooth again. So I just used a fresh one since I had extras. But this is what they look like. Ooh. These are rare earth magnets. So, best way to do this, gotta take your liner. With your liner in place, grab yourself a Sharpie. I don't have one over here, so I'm gonna just act like I'm doing it with this pen. But with a Sharpie, you hold your liner in place, and I'm just outlining this weight relief pocket for the liner, and that's going to show you that's going to outline the area that you can glue the magnet inside of. I decided to go with this spot just because it looked like it was going to fit best there. There's the most clearance for it there, and it's easy to replicate on the other side because this almost makes like a circle the way the weight relief cutout is. So I kind of just eyeballed it in the center of that circle, and I did the same thing for the other side. So after I outlined it with the Sharpie, then I simply remove this, still have the outline. Then I just put a dab of super glue right in the spot where I wanted the magnet and place the magnet in that spot. Held it down for a second, and then You don't have to worry about the magnet, you know, flipping over onto the liner and gluing itself to the liner or anything, because there's nothing that it can magnetically attract to. So let that sit, and once that is cured, I really only let mine sit for maybe 5-10 minutes, and I haven't had any issues. But if you want to let it cure longer, that's up to you. And then for the opposite side, make sure my spring doesn't go flying. For the opposite side was a little bit more tricky. I didn't want to take everything else apart, so what I did for this side was I taped over the exposed portion of the liner. I put multiple layers of tape just over the metal portion, not covering up the relief cutout, just to reduce the magnetic attraction between the magnet and the liner. So when I put my dab of glue in the center right there and go to put the magnet onto it, the magnet's not going to pull itself to the liner and glue to the liner. So very easy, self-explanatory. Another thing that I did was I taped over this portion. I taped around the whole knife with a piece of masking tape so that the spring cannot fly out for any reason. Then once I let the glue dry, took all the tape off, then all you have to do, well, if you want to do some maintenance while you have the knife apart, you can just lift up the blade, you know, clean your bearings, oil, everything, do whatever, you know, your preferences for your maintenance. And then just gonna line this back up. Make sure you're over top, you know, have all the pins lined up in place. Make sure everything is seated, which as you can see it is. Then I'm gonna start with the pivot screw. Just drop that in place. I like to kind of get started a little bit so you don't risk cross threading anything. Take my T10. Loosen that up a hair. With the lock tension off, you want the blade to be able to swing free and not have any play. So I set my tension there good. Next thing you're going to do is put these screws back in. The shorter one is going to be for the scale or standoff or whatever right here. Always make sure you're hitting the head of the screw straight on and you're square in the head of the screw and not hitting it at an angle. That will greatly reduce your chances of stripping your screws also. Then the last two screws go through the clip as well. So get those in place. Get that first one started so it doesn't fall out. All right, this one I'm going to put it on my driver, then line up the hole, then bada bing bada boom. Nice and easy when you do it that way. Snug her down. now you have yourself a magnetic detent for your AD20.5. Whoa, almost chopped my finger off. Get a free bonus for this video. And if you hold the lock back, as you can see, detent. Very fun. Really improves the action on this. Makes it a lot more enjoyable for me personally. So anyway, hope that was helpful. Hope you all enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments below if you're going to try it. And if you do, let me know how it goes. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Stay tuned. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.